Well, I'm back at J&B Lumber 3 years later to pick up the thick stock that I had sawed out 3 years ago. Live edge, 4-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, a variety of heavy live edge boards. They're gonna plane what they can. We're gonna load it up, take it home, and figure out what to do with it.
If you're new to the channel, you may not know that these boards are the last bunch of lumber that came out of some trees that I cut down, I don't know, several years ago, and had milled primarily into clear vertical grain, 1-inch thick Oregon white oak. The inch thick boards are already back in my shop, and I'm just about to start building some really, I hope, beautiful pieces of woodwork out of that beautiful load of lumber. The process of getting my hands on this lumber was just a thrill, because I started logging when I was 15. I built a sawmill when I was 22, and I've been a carpenter ever since. So trees and lumbering and making things with that wonderful fiber that comes from trees has been maybe the defining characteristic of my work life for a long time. Part of the reason I love it is the excitement and the risk and the athletic component of cutting trees down and bucking them to length, and then pulling them somewhere where they can be loaded and taken to market, or in this case, sawn right on the hillside.
So they're running these through for the second time. Get it down to where it's clean enough I can use it.
The rule of thumb is that you keep the boards flat and air dry them for 1 year per inch of thickness before you put them in a kiln and aggressively and quickly pull the rest of the moisture out of the wood cells. There's nothing quite like throwing a log onto a mill and then socking the saw into the wood and seeing what you are unwrapping. It's kind of like Christmas morning. Every log is different, every board is different, and it's a challenge and just an exhilaration to get the right wood out of the right log in the right way. The process for me as a young man of making lumber out of Oregon native hardwood logs was sketchy because I didn't know much about drying it, and planing it is its own massive investment in planers and sizers, and everything related to that is more money. And so J&B Wood Products right here in Oakland, Oregon has been a gift and a blessing to everybody around here who plays with the local hardwood lumber, because they do a perfect job of drying and planing. They also make some products. They do some value-added processes of flooring and that sort of thing in some of the boards that come through their business. But for me, it's just an absolutely necessary service to have available, to take the boards that come out of the logs and turn them into boards that you can run through a table saw. If you're new to the channel, you may not know that the declared purpose of most of the lumber that came out of these trees was to make a set of shaker kitchen cabinets for my wife. I've just got to remodel her old kitchen. And then the secondary part of that, which is the first thing that I'm going to do with these boards, is to make a beautiful shaker-style workbench patterned after my friend Ken Jordan's workbench.
I have no idea what I'm going to do with these things, but I do have sons and grandsons and my daughter and people who might like to play with some live edge oak, and so we have it. I've got to start figuring out some designs for some more blacksmith trellis supports, table legs. It's going to be a lot of fun turning these trees into some more freeform art. Anywhere there's great,
I've got to take this stuff back to my shop, put it in a dry spot, and wait for the inspiration to strike as to what I can make with these really heavy, really beautiful pieces of Oregon white oak. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman. and keep up the good work.